All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game two of this best of two series between Asian War Builders and DameMegami, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm here with GasBeaR, a new face. Hello, how are you, GasBeaR?
G'day. I feel it's appropriate to say. I'm very well, thanks.
It was a good way to say hello. Keeping the Australian in the British, always good. Well, I've come in here in game two. I've just finished work. I caught a glimpse of the last game. Tell me what the hell just happened.
Well, it was Asian wall builders went for suddenly a greedier draft and had a Kunka Clock combo, and whereas I really struggle with their team name, DameGami. They had some great team fights with the Void and a Shaker and a Warlock, and they were able to do super well in lanes and kind of had most of the control of the game. Um,
Well, I did
but
notice there was a void last game. They've made a respect ban as we were talking about before we started the stream. We'll have to see what happened. We were discussing how the support picks were a bit greedy from Asian War Builders. Hopefully this time around, maybe a bit less greedy.
yeah, their issue was the Storm Spirit had a really rough time in the mid lane, and the supports didn't rotate really there at all, and so Quap was able to sort of snowball. And same with the Void on the bot lane, he was able to get a good minus timing into just sort of free farming.
Well, I know you're never relatively new, so you probably don't know much about John. But if there's anything everyone in Echo League knows about John, is the only hero he claims to know how to play is a Nyx Assassin. Literally the only hero he believes he can play decently. So it's no surprise to see the first pickup. I honestly haven't seen a Nyx Assassin, John, so I don't know what the hell we're expecting here. But how do you feel about it?
It's really, really good against Crystal Maiden. There are a few heroes more annoying for a CM. With Vendetta, you're able to just kill her all the time, and you can stop her ult whenever you want by walking in with a spike carapace. But so, having not seen him play, you won't have any idea whether it'll be more of a roaming Nyx or an offlane Nyx from John.
Well, what I meant by that was I'm not sure if it's actually good, specifically, but, but we'll find out. I mean, the thing with John is you don't know what to expect from John. Sometimes John's like the EE Summer of the Echo League scene. He either, and I'm not joking, he either plays disgustingly bad, or alternatively, on the rare occasion, John makes some magic happen. Now, there's a Kunkka Magnus. This is the reason I love casting these C games, because they choose the craziest, most epic drafts. Are you excited about that? I'm excited about this.
Yeah, that's a setup for some team fights right there. If you ever saw some.
I saw a Kunkka, I saw a Void, I saw a Warlock last game. I was like, my goodness, here I am like an idiot trying to pay off the rent or the mortgage, and there's a great game going on. Wasn't the Kunkka on the opposite team last time around?
Yes, yes, it was.
Is it that much of a good hero for people to be picking it up this often? Because I've seen it very often.
He is really good. X Torrent is incredible in terms of pickoffs and sometimes saves. The range on it is incredible, but the one thing Kunkka really struggles with is mana in the early game for roaming. So Kunkka CM is a really good sort of opening draft.
Yeah, I've always liked the Kunkka. Now, like you mentioned, the CM combo obviously makes it a lot better to be a Kunkka in any game, but the whole boat change, I get it. It makes it easier to use. Like, you can't ever have an excuse to miss now, but I just there was something special about playing Kunkka well back in the day. I just feel like it's gone now.
Yeah, I guess kind of like what people sort of said about the initial changes to Lone Druid, when you just it kind of took the sort of skill level out. I can see what you mean, and in you could see it was also really funny to watch some people who hadn't played Kunkka try and cast a boat next to them, and it completely messes it sailed over their heads. I guess I will miss that, but it certainly makes him a lot more viable as a hero.
Indeed, I guess yeah. There's no there's a lot less practice you need to have, a lot less positioning with the Conker. Because back then you had to really position yourself well for everything with Conker. But now it's just, you can do anything with Conker now. It's these youngins these days, they don't understand how hard we had it back in the day. With these Conker ultimates. Now,
yeah, he had to be really far back, didn't he? Otherwise, he couldn't get his stuff off.
Indeed. Now, I'm just intrigued. We see a Magnus, we see a Kunkel, we see a CM, we see a Nyx. Is there... I mean, it's a bit early to talk about who's going to win this draft, but... I mean, is there any kind of combinations? Any special combinations? Are we going to see a Mag? Well, I can't even say Juggernaut, because Juggernaut's gone. I'm just intrigued. Do you see any combos coming out so far? With any future heroes they're going to pick?
I mean, you could pick up a PA or a Troll or a Sven. They all combo with Magnus incredibly well, and there's another team fight hero for you there. Seems like you're getting your wish.
Well, the irony here is, you're probably not well aware yet, but it's currently 1:30 a.m. for me, and I've got a house full of sleeping people, and they're about to probably be rudely awoken in this game, because as a caster, I'm sure you can relate. You only could wish these kind of drafts come out, and of course when they come out, it's the one time you want to try and be a bit more quiet, but you can't because the draft came out.
And when the hype hits the level, you gotta match it, don't you? You can't disappoint.
Well, it's one of those things. We're gonna see what happens. I mean, for all we know, they could miss everything, and we could be sitting here, shouting at how bad people are. But I have faith in these teams. We saw a Clockwork. Now, what's intriguing to me is DameMegami, however you pronounce that name. They're choosing heroes that Asian wall builders chose last game around, and I feel like there might be a psychological battle here. Let me show you how to play these heroes properly.
Yeah, no, I think there's some element of that. I'm certain we won't see a Kunker Clockwork support combo in this game. Some form of Corsium. But yeah, I think it's interesting seeing as it's kind of a thing. Asian wall builders banned out the Void, they banned out the Night Stalker. They fine, we'll play your heroes then, and pick them instead.
Indeed, and look at this, a Sven with the I mean, how much more he's gonna cleave the world right now. Is this ridiculous? And power and the cleave from Sven.
Yeah, it's max level and power will be 115% cleave, and then with his talent will be 125% cleave. He will deal more damage to the people he's not hitting. It is silly.
Hide your kids and hide your wife. That cleave's getting everybody around here. Templar Assassin picked up. Now, I mean, I'm assuming it's for the sake of being able to kite this Sven around in the minus armor, but there's got to be some bonuses here for the Templar.
It looks like Magnus, unless this is a support Nyx, Magnus will probably be heading to the mid lane, and TA really stomps the mid lane. They have no reserve time left. They've got 4 seconds. Jeez.
John likes to keep it close. He likes to really, keep it on the edge. They've banned out the Nyx. I guess it could have comboed with the Clockwork, maybe. I guess. The Templar as well, if she gets a blink.
Yeah, it's good synergy.
Well, we'll see there's a Viper ban. Thank God. Nobody wants to see a Viper in any game.
Yeah, especially not if you're playing a TA. That's for sure.
Well, the last pickup's coming up here. I guess I'm seeing that we're gonna need a safe laner for the Dire side. There's been a lot of bans though. It's hard to say who they're gonna pick here.
Yeah, they've got plenty of time though. They've got 1 minute 48. But for Asian wall builders, we can either see a support or an offlaner here, depending on where Nyx goes. You could see an offlaner or a mid, I think. depending on where they're sticking Magnus and Nyx. But in terms of carries, I'm not really sure. Something like you can do some funny cheese with Templar and Weaver, but that's I'd be surprised to see that happen. Have you seen that at all? Where the Weaver gets Ags and Solo Crest, and you send the Templar up, meld tap someone 2-3 hits them, and you Weaver out them back. It's pretty disgusting. But it was done in a pro game. I think it was NP. I'm not sure.
In theory,
it made me a bit sick.
In theory, you can still do that right now, right? They have the Kunkka X.
Yeah, no, they certainly do. They had Kunkka Storm last game, which is also can be pretty revolting, but they didn't really get a chance to do so. But,
I was going to say, I'm a bit shocked. I thought to myself, looking at the time that's... Well, there's the pickup, but looking at the time that was left...
ooh.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, Drow, not the... Well, it's a great pick for the Templar, right?
Yeah, no, it's certainly going to allow Templar to win her lane and get on top. But you would have thought Magnus, Nyx, and Sven, all known for being able to get on top of people, and Drow struggles with that. And Ember, I'm not surprised. Ember's Flame Guard deals really well with TA in the mid lane. Plus, Magnus combo.
Not to mention...
second one.
Yeah, not to mention, he's another one that can just jump on Drow Ranger.
Yeah, so this Drow's positioning is going to be really key for her, and it's going to be it's going to be an interesting to see how much they're going to get out of these two potential ridiculous cleave heroes.
Indeed, it will be. I'd like to quickly give a shout out to Libby Dota, who's joined the Twitch chat and commented on me trash talking John, which wasn't trash talk. I'm just simply, in fact, being compared to EE, surely that's a compliment. No?
Yeah. It really depends on your view of EE, I'd say. I mean, if I was compared to EE, I think I'd take it as a compliment.
Well, I think people should just take a seat and calm down and, try not to fall off that seat. And, we'll get along with it. That was a pun, by the way, in case you didn't pick it up. In case you didn't watch the Midland Masters. I'm assuming you don't know what I'm talking about.
Yes, no, of course. That was really slow. Yeah, how did I miss that? That was really poor from me. Whoops.
Well, look, what we're going to do, bit of a tradition with the when we cast is, I'll call out the Radiant, you call out the Dire heroes, and we'll get the game going. So, on the Radiant side, we have Johnny Boy, John X Fire, he's on the Nyx. We have Bien, or is it Machiavelli? Bien or Machiavelli? We'll call him, I don't know, I'm a two-back fan, but we're going to say Bien for the time being. Ember Spirit, he's going to be played by Keem, or is it Marga? Keem Marga? We'll find out. Marky, he's playing the Sven, and finally, Witch Doctor, we played by Arky, and you were saying?
I think it's Keem. I think the Ember's meant to be like a sponsor.
Okay. Sure. Oh, good. And if you could call out the Dire, please.
So you've got Recovery on the Drow. We go for Nudes playing the presumably roaming Kunkka. Through the Night on the CM, and Lel on TA, and finally we have Sone, one of those three. He's going to be playing the offlane clockwork here.
Well, look at
Looks
this.
like we've got some action on top.
Yeah, Nudes. Oh, good torrent out from Nudes there, but Machiavelli, he gets the skewer in. Can they get the follow-ups done? Yes, they can from Sven. Now John, he follows up as well, and I think Nudes is going to die, although he does chuck a Fairy Fire out. No, they will get the last hit. They don't get the bounty rune. But now Recovery's probably going to lose his life here. If John can just land this stun. In fact, he could probably just get a double if he wanted to. Recovery. Is he going to make it out, Marky? He's got no mana left for that stun. And in fact, they couldn't make up their minds. They can't get one. No, the coconut. No. They're gonna have to let that one go.
I am amazed Drow Ranger was able to pick up that rune and not die, honestly. Does this mean they're going to aggro try? That would be interesting to see.
This is what appears. Actually, you've got me intrigued now because I'm pretty sure John's meant to be playing position 4 on the Knicks.
Yeah, and an offlane Magnus, I would say.
So Marky, maybe he's gonna run, get a TP, and go bot against a solo Clockwork. That seems like it'd be terrible for Sven.
The Magnus has got an Iron Talon, and I presume he's not gonna just hit the jungle. But no, I wondered if they maybe sent Magnus bottom and had a Sven, Witch Doctor, and Nyx as a tri-lane. I think that could be quite difficult to deal with. But, or maybe it was just a level 1 rotation and all three of them are going to head bottom.
Well, it's definitely going to be a tri-lane top. We can see that, and Nudes will probably roam a bit later on, but I mean it's not going to be an easy tri-lane to deal with from the Radiance end against the Dire, because if it's Machiavelli on the offlane on his own, even if he's got that skewer, I mean that X is going to haunt him with the follow-up torrent.
Yeah, certainly. It's they do have a strong lane. In fact, what's going to be really interesting is that both teams have a strong lane. If we have a try, you've got Stormhammer into Nyx's Impale, and then a Coconut, which is a triple stun. That's always going to be really difficult to deal with. But then you've got Frostbite into an almost guaranteed torrent to set up kills the other way. So it'd be very exciting if this is a try situation. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how each team deals with it. Now, we still have a pause. It's just on the TA. I'm not sure what's happened here, but probably some internet issues.
Said had to restart his computer.
The whole computer?
Seems to be reconnecting. Maybe. Just restarting, I guess.
Oh, good. He's back. Oh, things are opening up on my computer now. Never mind. We're good. So we'll find out what these lanes are going to be. Marky, it looks like he's going to make a run for the TP, and yeah, he will. So he's going back to the safe lane, unless CM cancels it. Oh, the Frostbite. Didn't quite find the time there, or maybe a bit of slow reaction, maybe a bit of fog. But here comes the gank on Machiavelli. There's the first torrent, there's the Frostbite as well, and Machiavelli, he skewers back the Kunka, but Nudes, can he make something happen? I don't think so.
Yeah, that was really close, and like you said, could be the start of what's a very horrible lane for Magnus. Doesn't have stealth shield, so he's going to be taking loads of damage.
We can see mid lane. I've just had a look, and we have a Nyx, and he's sticking down at the mid lane to try and help out, but it's against a TA. It's going to be pretty hard to help this Ember out at all against the TA.
Yeah, it's one where they're both good against each other in different ways. Ember can cancel her refraction, but she can deal that sort of ranged harass, and she's got that Drower, so she's hitting for 77. So that's so hard to last hit against. Did you catch the stat that came up? No,
I didn't actually. Did you?
It was saying John X Fire, if I'm just going from my head, has an average 221 GPM over 4 games or something on Nyx Assassin, placing him in the bottom 30 of all players in Echo League, something like that. That was great.
Thank you, Stinky. Stinky Pie is doing the stats, by the way, for the sake of doing stats, but it's a good little stat there. And I mean, John's open to these kind of comments. John loves this kind of attention. And like I said, he's the EE summer of Echo League. This man, I'm telling you, he can pull out some magic if need be.
I guess we're just going to see which John turns up.
Well, look at this, though. There's a bit of a rotation here. Mid lane, Keem. Well, actually, not Keem, Marga. My apologies. Because we're assuming Keem's a sponsor of some sort. Or is it Keem?
I think Marga is the sponsor.
Apologies, Keem. We're gonna stick with Keem, but it looks like there's gonna be some kind of rotation here. Illusion's kind of forcing him back. He's only got one tango anyway, and well, he's just picked up his bottle, but it looks like it's gonna be a bit of a failed rotation in the mid lane, and gives Machiavelli a bit of space in the off lane.
He's actually doing all right for last hits, Machiavelli. He's got 13, which is more than the Clockwork's got, who did start off being in his own lane.
Templar Assassin again. Struggling.
We had quite a few pauses in the last game too, unfortunately.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I think he probably wouldn't have made it in time for the end of the game if the pauses.
Oh, I say. Well, I suppose it's a good and a bad thing in its own way.
Yeah.
You were discussing with Machiavelli getting those last hits, the 13-1. He's doing very well for himself in the offlane, like surprisingly well.
Yeah, I thought he was getting a bit screwed, but he's actually he's fourth on the last hit charts. So very very impressive to get that much out of it. I feel like kind of we got the same thing going on here from Asian wall builders, where if they get the items that they need, get this Magnus's Blink Dagger and get him some good levels, max that in power, and then suddenly if they hit that team fight, that's going to be so difficult to deal with. But they may have problems until then if I feel the Die are able to hit Steam and sort of push down towers.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're right. If they can get that combo off, I mean, things are just going to be so easy for them. But it's just a matter of it's just get the RP. If you can get that RP, you're fine. You've won the team fight. I can't imagine they could come back after one RP with this kind of draft. But it's a matter of it's really the game feels like it's on Machiavelli's hands right now. Like, well, not right now, but at the mid game, it feels like it's just going to be all on him.
Yeah, and so say if you're looking at it from the Die's perspective, you look to Sone and say, well, this Magnus is going to be our issue. You as your Clockwork, you're going to try and scout him out and jump onto him, because if he manages to do that, then that's an RP eliminated from a fight, really, and it's going to make his life really difficult.
Yeah, it's a good point. They do have a decent counter in the Clockwork, so we'll have to. I guess they're putting their hopes into Sona to make it happen. There's the reconnect. Hopefully, we won't have any future problems from Lil. I believe there is pause time limitations in the game, so I mean, John's a nice guy though, so he'd probably just let it. He'll probably just wait, which is fine. Good old John, but hopefully no more problems. Get back into the game here. Everything's a bit quiet. Machiavelli still farming very well, using that in power. And Keem. I mean, the mid lane lineup, if Keem's alone against a TA, I realized we were talking and saying, they kind of both counter each other, but later on in the game, like we're talking level 6, level 7, does Keem have the advantage here? Or is it Lil?
Unless, about level 7. Ooh.
Yeah.
Almost a rotation in there. Yeah, if you're able to pop that refraction and get a triple remnant in, then you've got good kill potential on a TA. And your issue as a TA is if you're just laning and he has a remnant, or even if he doesn't have a remnant set up, you can't kill him really 1v1 unless he plays over aggressive, because he can just remnant away from you.
I don't know if you probably didn't just see that, but Machiavelli on the off lane, my goodness, he was trading hits with Kunkka, and actually we better wait there because John, he's actually going in for a stun here on the TA. Refraction's gone. Lil, is he gonna survive this? There's no real chains left. They're on cooldown, so I mean a bit of a scare for Lil, but he's got the bottle. He'll be fine, and John gets a bit lucky with the Invis rune. So probably a bit of showing a bit of things to come for the future for TA.
Yeah. What were you saying about Machiavelli in the top lane?
Oh, so he was trading hits with Nudes on the Kunkka. My goodness, there was like absolutely no competition. Nudes was, basically having a pillow fight, and Magnus was just ripping him apart, which, basically sums up my marriage experience. Me being the Kunkka, of course. And actually, mid lane, they're having a go here again, John. Stuns. Does connect. Unfortunately. Oh, no. There's a stun with the coconut. The refraction is there. And I've got to say, Keem kind of got to be regretting what he did there. Used the chains a bit too early. Tried to get it off first before the stun. And didn't have faith in John with the stun. I was a bit upset about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those ones where hindsight's great. But suddenly, yeah, if he hadn't have committed the chains, the impale lands, and then that's an easy kill from there.
Indeed. Well,
but yeah, he didn't have his boots, so he was probably slightly concerned he wouldn't be able to catch up.
You know, that's a fair point. I mean, at the end of the day, they did force Lil back, and even though he is back now, that's still a bit of free time for Keem to just continue farming and, you know, have a good time. Nudes finds Machiavelli in the jungle. And actually, Johnny boy, he's coming in. There's a big rotation, actually. They're going straight after Nudes. Nudes gets a good torrent and the stun missed. It was a beautiful juke. My goodness. And they'll have to let it go. I thought that might have been a kill there.
That was a really nice juke there, actually.
Absolutely beautiful. And look at this bot lane now. Sona. He's going after Marky. Marky's just standing by the creeps. He's not concerned whatsoever. And the battery assault, it's going to wear off, so it doesn't really matter. He does have the hook if he wants to commit it, but I don't think he's going to have the follow-up afterwards anyway. So he'll let that one go, but I think Sven probably has to watch himself a bit, because if he does get hooked solo with the battery assault, and in fact, we're about to see it. You can see Sona in that position. He's just waiting. And actually, Keem gets a kill on DM. Now there's the hook, the cogs as well, but unfortunately, yeah, they've got the kill. Marky, he's going down. He's dead. And top lane? No, there's no action top lane. What were you saying?
I was just saying through the night was lurking too, really nicely in the trees, and was able to help support them with that kill. I think it would have been that much harder without him.
Well, they literally through the night and Arky just walk past each other, and you know, being two position 5s, they understand. They just walk past each other. They don't want any trouble. They're on warding duties now. Again, no, Arky, he decides differently this time. And actually, they're going to have a go at each other here. Frostbite, Bounty Room picked up by Through the Night. And Through the Night actually copying a lot of damage. A lot of damage. And she'll walk it off. But my goodness. That's obviously Witch Doctor, the stronger of supports at this point.
Yeah, I thought they were going to have a really nice moment, you know. Just two pods 5s, meeting up in the jungle. Suddenly realizing, you know what, you're here for Warden, I'm here for Warden. How about we just be peaceful and get on with our duties for a bit, and
yeah,
no fighting. But,
look at top lane though, Machiavelli. They believe in fighting. They have a go at each other. Machiavelli actually committed that RP, by the way. It was on recovery.
ooh.
Yeah, and recovery. He was with the quick silence, so there was nothing else that was going to come out of that Magnus, and then the X torrent follow up, and well, Magnus went to sleep for he's going to sleep for about 10 seconds.
So this game's situated really nicely. Slightly better for the Dire, I guess, getting the 2 kills, kill on Marky Sven, and a kill on Machiavelli in the top lane. But certainly net worth wise is really close. Although John is really struggling for levels, he's still level 3.
Yeah, I mean, with the thing with John, he is to compliment John, he does sacrifice a lot. So John's willing to kind of, you know, sacrifice his levels and his gold, hence the stat before that we saw with the GPM. But at the end of the day, I mean, John generally finds it. So he's got well, actually, now that you mention it, we're 9.5 minutes in. My goodness.
He's gone on bot lane. Hook shot onto the Witch Doctor, followed up with a Nova and a pretty simple kill.
Indeed, a simple kill. Arky just loses his life. It was just a hook into battery, so nothing too special there, I'm sure.
Mhm.
I was saying we're 10 minutes in, and the Nyx is only almost level 4 now. That's actually pretty darn bad.
That's really not where you want to be. Although, interesting to see, he's making some stacks here, and that's going to be wonderful for the Sven when he gets a chance to farm it up.
Well, actually, they're fighting mid lane. Lil, he's going to go down, I think. The Melodict is on him. No, he has the refraction. He actually dodges that the big burst. And no, he does end up going down. Now John comes in. He's got the stun available. Hasn't used it quite yet. The coconut goes out. The spike carapace as well onto Through the Night. And still no stun coming out. The rocket. John does end up losing his life. So, bit of hesitation. with the stun and never really came out. He just ended up dying, unfortunately.
Yeah, the maledict damage though, taking out the TA in the end. I did not think that was going to be enough to kill though.
Indeed, yeah, I definitely thought he was going to walk that one off, but surprisingly enough, that level 2 Maledict does the job, and he actually hasn't gone anything in Voodoo Restoration yet. Now, generally you'd see one level in it, but, I mean, is this the right choice? Just avoid it for the time being, just max out Maledict?
It's certainly game situation. Like, if you know you're gonna need some heal, then you obviously want to get level. But honestly, if he had 3 points in stun, level in voodoo, and a level in maledict, that wouldn't have been a kill. Maledict level 1 really doesn't do that much, so I think that may have just got them that kill.
Well, I just noticed something. Our Nyx assassin actually nudes. He's in a bit of trouble here. He throws out the torrent. It does miss, but John's not going to be able to catch up. Neither is Arky. So they will have to let him walk. But if you look at John now, he's almost level 6. And it was simply off that one fight that they killed the TA off. He literally gained over a level from that.
Yeah, that was a vast change in his fortunes. Although I'm slightly surprised that with this drow, they've not been able to take this tower 12 minutes in. I imagine they would have want to have, and maybe the mid tower too. Looks like they. Right. Another thing I was thinking, TA is well known for being able to clear down ancient stacks. So if they scout out this ancient stack here on the bottom ancients, we could have a really interesting fight while the two teams battle out for that. If they scout it out.
That is a very good point, actually. That tier 1 is going down top, and Drow will get it. But yeah, like you said, if they scout it out, I mean, that's going to be a big contention there. That's 3 stacks so far, and Sven really wants those stacks. So they definitely would be having a bit of a fight there. So we'll see if they can scout it out, though. I mean, it could be as simple as a trap being laid down or a ward being placed, but we'll find out soon. You were actually mentioning as well the drow, you were a bit surprised how she hadn't taken the tower yet, which was surprising. They have a bit of a timing here on the Dire side with their draft, and I mean, what happens if they don't hit it? Late game, it looks like the Radiant might be stronger.
Oh.
Yeah.
Geez, that was
yeah, mid lane as well, actually. Arky, he's going to get killed off, but they might get a kill on Nudes here. Keem, he jumps in, recovery now, starting to hit up on him. Keem's actually in a lot of trouble. The silence, beautifully timed. They will get the kill. And, I mean, things going the way of the Dire, apparently, as I was questioning their ability to finish this game. Well, get going in this game. They're 7-4 now with the Frostbite onto John. And Lil, he jump in with the meld, and they'll get the kill. That was pretty darn easy as well. Very squishy Nyx. Arky, does he want a bit of it too? The coconut comes out. The meld is there. The Melodic does miss. That being said, the Machiavelli, he's there. Ready to go with the RP, but no Blink Dagger, and can't find the positioning for himself.
I find it really interesting Machiavelli's gone for treads. With the nerfs to Magnus being mostly around his mana costs. I feel like with treads, although it gives you that sort of tankiness you've done. Oh, they've already done those stacks. But as you can see at the moment, he's really struggling for mana. He's got these raindrops in the mango. But I feel if he had mana boots, the mana pool increase and the sort of being able to get your mana back would really help him to be able to fight a bit better at this point in the game.
Well, I can't disagree with you, but through the night, he's about to get ganked up. He did have a sentry ward. Unfortunately, no, the stun misses from John, and there's a torrent onto 2. My goodness, now the hook shot onto John. Oh, I mean, I could say that's unfortunate, but how lucky for Nudes to be able to get such a beautiful torrent.
That was an incredible torrent and a great turnaround. Suddenly turning the fight from one way to the other.
Oh, it's just fantastic. And I mean, what was I even saying before that torrent came out? I don't even remember anymore.
The Magnus not going mana boots.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that point. I mean, he does look like he's struggling. I mean, he's got an RP in him, but that's going to cost about half his mana. So you're going to, basically, you've got one combo with the Skewer Shockwave RP, and then you're completely screwed. Which isn't very good for a Magnus, who'd want to be chasing after that with some more shockwaves.
The other question I had personally was whether Ember would go for the sort of damage build to combo with the Magnus more, or go for a sort of hybrid build, or stick with this sort of Veil first. But he took the 8% spell amp rather than the 30 damage. So, and he's going for a Veil, so I assume he's going to be heading more towards the magic damage Ember, certainly for the moment.
That's a good point, actually, because yesterday we were casting a game and well, you weren't there, but I saw there was an Ember who actually went the physical build, the attack damage. So that was rather surprising, but I guess it was a sign of the times. Actually, Witch Doctor going to go down in the bot lane. Unfortunately, runs into TA, and that's probably the last person you want to run into. But yeah, like we were saying, the attack build that happened yesterday, rather surprising, but it did work. And I mean, I guess this Ember Spirit just wants to go with the trend at the moment. Just wants to go with the magic damage.
But the Ember's build worked for him, didn't he? Going the more physical damage build.
Sorry?
It paid off going the physical damage build as opposed to this sort of magic based build.
Oh, absolutely.
The game yesterday.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It actually worked quite well, in fact. They could not control that Ember. The damage was kind of insane. I guess I get the point. Being against the TA, it's like you're gonna be using a lot of magic, your spells more so than the physical side of things. So kind of makes sense, I guess.
The issue though is less so the actual damage. It's the fact that they changed the cleave working, so it doesn't work as well in sort of groups.
Oh, that's a good point. John here, mid lane, he's scouting with that Vendetta. I mean, he's not making the initiation quite yet, and with Lel with that blink now, he'll just get the hell out of there. But I thought John may have made a jump for it. He just did not want to commit. Probably not very confident his team could take it at that point, but actually,
yeah, I think they just don't feel ready for teamfights at the moment.
Well, actually, I was going to say to you, funny thing was, Machiavelli, he didn't have mana for the RP at that point either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't spot that, but that would be a crucial point in there. So he's definitely going to have to go for like a Yules or a Lincoln, something that's going to give him some mana regen to help with this. Something I spotted seemed really interesting. TA's not going for a Deso. She's got a blink, and she's queued up a BKB. He hasn't invested into it yet, but I find that really interesting. I don't think I've seen a TA skip Deso, certainly in a long time.
That's a very good point, actually. I didn't notice. I was just assuming she'd pick up the Deso after the blink, but I mean, the RP goes through the BKB, so that's pointless. But I guess everything else, like there's a lot of the coconut, the stuns from Nyx, even the Ember.
Yeah.
Like I guess it kind of makes sense, maybe. But she's already ahead, so I don't know. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, they usually don't even go blink first. The Deso is so highly valued on her that they often go Treads, Aquila, Deso, and then just farm ancient stacks, farm jungle. Suddenly you become like a Sven does. You sort of flash farm, get your blink, and then you're huge at that point. But maybe she just wants to fight.
Oh, Sone, he gets the hook onto John, and John with the Spike Carapace, now the Vendetta, so they can't see him anymore. He might turn this around with the Witch Doctor ultimate, but there was a Blade Mail on Clockwork. Now the stun from Marky, they will get the kill, but John ended up dying. Now the RP onto two, and he's going to skewer them back in, but he hasn't got a stun on the Sven. The Hurricane Pike, the Coconut. I think this looks really bad for the Radiant, but they're actually turning this one around. Recovery, he has to back off. There's the stun, they get the kill, and actually, it's a 2-for-1 trade, and that worked out surprisingly well.
Yeah, that was a great RP. Did John kill himself on a Vendetta Blade Mail hit? Is that what happened there? I didn't spot that. I saw him die, and I saw the Blade Mail up, but I didn't see him cast anything else.
No, well, in all fairness, I believe he actually played that pretty well, but unfortunately he died to Lel on the TA, who just by getting hit. So.
Okay.
Although you wouldn't have surprised me if I hadn't seen that, if he had done that. But Johnny, he does do the right things that time around. But my goodness, I mean, once I saw that, was that a Hurricane Pike I saw? Yeah, it was on Drow. Recovery.
Yeah, on Drow.
Once I saw the Hurricane Pike, I thought, nah, they're screwed. Yeah, an Ember Spirit. He's going to get taken down. No, he does manage to get away before the kill. And in fact, he cops one more arrow, but he'll be fine. I guess the silence not long enough from Drow quite yet.
Yeah, only 4 seconds at the moment. But you said like the fight was looking in dire straits for the Radiant for Asian Wall Builders, but we said it's all going to be about this Magnus, and he didn't fail to deliver there. That was a fantastic RP.
Indeed it was. I mean, if Machiavelli can keep that up throughout the game, if he can just make those game-changing RPs, it's going to be a good game for the Asian War Builders. But the problem is, it feels if he doesn't get them off, again, it just feels like they might be in a bit of trouble. We'll find out though, because the TA is farming very well for herself, and in fact, ironically enough, she's going for the BKB. I thought she might have been going for the Deso instead, but she's picked up the Mithril Hammer and the recipe.
Yeah, and she's gonna immediately transition into a Deso after that. Although amazingly, Magnus is not going for anything to help him with his mana problems. You can see he's farming ears. No mana. He's not even going for, say, a 4-staff to help him. He's going straight for a Shadow Blade for the initiation.
Well, we'll see how that turns out for him. I guess so far it hasn't screwed him over too much. So I mean, it can only get better for him, I guess, in terms of mana. I was gonna ask you because we did mention timing before, but TA the whole Deso situation. Considering that the Dire have so much more of a powerful push lineup, especially with the Drow, I mean that Deso could have really made it easy to just go absolutely ham on towers. But yeah, I don't know if the BKB pickup's the right pickup this early.
Yeah, I can't. In my head, I'm not sure. I'm trying to think why, and I guess you're concerned about. If you pop BKB, they can only pop your refraction charges with physical damage, and they don't have anyone who's they don't have like an Ursa or someone who's gonna hit you really quick and burn those down. And so that's good, and it'll help us survive a bit. But they're ahead. I feel like surviving's not so much the issue. They just want to lay down as much damage as possible, and especially to towers, like you said. She's doing fine. She's doing pretty well. She's still top in net worth. So at this rate, she's going to have a Deso before long anyway.
Well, I just spotted something rather intriguing. I think Recovery's going for a Sanjin Yasha, which I don't ever see on a Drow.
Just got the Sanj. Has she got a Yasha already?
Yeah, I think so. Actually, hold that thought.
It's on
Machiavelli. Oh, RP onto 2, but he does end up going down the coconut. It actually bounces the wrong way. The Melodict, will it do the job? No, it's not going to really do anything. And a bit unfortunate, but the smoke successful for the Dire end.
Yeah, that was he felt he kind of had to drop the RP if he felt he had any chance getting that. He only just caught 2. I think he was quite close to catching more, but they just didn't seem ready to respond to that team fight at the moment. And now they know RP's down. Maybe they can just push down into this top tower.
Well, jump on Drow, and the Ember unfortunately does mistime it, doesn't get it quite right, and misses. Well, he doesn't really get any chains there. He was out of position, out of the distance, and like you said, they're gonna make the push down to the tier 2 at top. No fear of the RP. So, I mean, unless they can pull out something amazing, there's really nothing that can stop them, I don't feel, from the Dire end.
Yeah, they're setting up for this, but I'm not sure they can defend it. And so Marky just accepting that, and he's going to split off and farm, see what they can do. Something else interesting, this Hurricane Pike pickup for the Drow is so good. It's a great counter to this magic damage at Ember, because he roots you, and then he wants to jump in with all 3 remnants. But if you 4-staff, you can't land those remnants, and it's also great against Sven. He jumps on you, you just push him away. It's great for that sort of kite that they're looking for.
Oh, look at this. They smoked up straight away again, and Marky, he's going to be the target, and yeah, he just melted right there. Just a beautiful hook, and the meld strike's just too much for him. In fact, they even silenced him, so I don't think he even had that bonus armor. No, he didn't from Warcry. No Warcry either.
Yeah, there's so much physical damage coming out from the style lineup, and they're going to turn this into another push. RP is coming back up though, and but they don't look like they're setting up to defend it at the moment.
Well, the question is, what is an RP without a Magnus? Actually, no recovery. He's getting jumped on, but he gets a silence, and the boat comes in. A bit of a, I mean, a bit. He was hoping really right there for the Witch Doctor. Spike Carapace doesn't really do too much. Recovery is still perfectly fine, but very risky play from Witch.
Lel's even banging onto the tier 3.
My goodness.
Just taking the advantage while no one's at home. Even creating some space for them to finish off this tier 2. I think that was a really nice bit of split push there from Lel.
Or recovery. Still pushing that tier 2 on his own. And he'll back off now. John, he was gonna walk in, but he has no backup. And they'll let him go. It looks like they might even rotate to Roshan now. There's really no fears for them. In fact, they get a lucky refresher rune as well. So recovery up to full HP again. I mean, the win condition is simply, I guess, a Magnus ult into a Sven, you know, God strength. But things not looking very good.
Yeah, no, it's certainly rough at this moment, and they've lost all tier 2s. They still got tier 3s at least for a minute. They aren't smoked up though here. They got their ults.
Well, this is going to be interesting. This is, I mean, if they lose this fight, this could be an absolute disaster, but Lel is actually going to be the target, which is probably the best target. He actually blinks out, though. Now the skewer back, though, from Machiavelli. He knows exactly what he's doing, John. He comes in, the BKB, they commit the RP onto just the TA, but it could be worth it if they get the kill. There's backup coming in. Marky, he's still there. He starts hitting up. Lel is down now through the night. He'll be the next target. The coconut, it's jumping through them. It actually gets both of them, but, oh, a double stun from Marky. And oh, they can't follow up on it. The boat comes in with the torrent now onto John. He has a Spike Carapace, but he still cops the torrent damage. The rocket as well. He's walking it off. And I'd argue that's a win for the Radiant.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what they needed. And you said, like, she popped a BKB and then suddenly it was really hard for them to deal with her. But then they RP'd her, and the BKB kind of doesn't really do much anymore. And that's an issue. So it was kind of good and bad. But yeah, it was really weird. She was almost like up in the middle of the mid tier 1 and 2, while the rest of the team were like in the offlane jungle. They were really separate. I don't know. I think Asian wall builders were more scared that there were more people behind her, and in fact there actually wasn't.
Yeah, there certainly looked like there was a bit of hesitation from the Dire end as well. Like, they just did not look comfortable to try and help out the TA. Almost kind of, you know, understanding that she was already dead, but there was a slight time within that fight where I felt like they could have really just counter-initiated, but like with the boat from Kunkka, but it just never came out.
But they don't actually have any sight of this unless John scouts it. But she's got the deso. It's being... I think that was a dire ping, actually. But they have seen recovery walk in. They do know. I don't know if they're ready with a smoke to counter-engage.
It might be way too late anyway. Roshan, it's going to go down. And yeah, they're not anywhere in position. They realize they've got to take the high ground fight now. And the Dire, they want to finish this quickly. I think they're in a... They understand how dominant of a position they are. Currently 10k net worth lead, 29 minutes in, which is quite substantial. And Lel, he's going to be on those front lines with that BKB again. 9 seconds available now. We've got to see some amazing RP come out. And Machiavelli, he's already gone in. With the Shadow Blade, he's in the middle of them. They drop the sentry though, and they've X'd him up there. He gets a double RP. The hook comes in. It's too late. The stun from Marky, and Marky, he's got the God Strength, but the silence from Drow and the Torrent and the bow coming in. The CM ultimate, it's not really catching anyone. Arky, everything's fouled for the Radiant so far. They just could not get the combination right, and they might have to buy back now.
Yeah, I don't know how they defend this. This is going to be really difficult to defend. TS still got Aegis.
Yeah. Well, Marky with the stun doesn't really help too much. Now the skewer only gets a Drow, but this could be good recovery. He's going to go down. It looks like no, they'll let him go. In fact, the X was there from the Kunkka. The Aegis has been used up. The coconut comes out. They're trying to defend as best they can. Recovery will go down. Now Clockwork will go down as well. So this is a good little punishment for the Dire for trying to push. Now in through the night, he could be in trouble. Looks like he'll be going down as well. Kunkka, he'll be the next target. This could be 4 down. Marky blinks in perfectly. He's silenced up, but he will get the kill, and the only survivor is the TA.
That was fantastic from them. Oh my god, TA's even been rooted up as John TV's in, but that would have been really unfortunate. But yeah, that was great. Real great turnaround. Despite no RP, no god strength, they've still managed to hold against Aegis.
And look at this, John. He's actually scouted out where Lil is, and they're actually making they're making their way to her. If they can get this kill as well, this could be massive for them. They're getting the tier 1 first, and John actually not scouting Lil anymore. Doesn't feel safe. Might be a few sentries around, but they'll go for the tier 2. There's really nothing stopping them quite yet, and actually Marky says get the hell back.
Yeah, I think that's a good call, and I think that's something Dyer didn't really respect. I think was it Magnus and Sven who brought back? Yeah, Magnus and Sven and Witch Doctor brought back. They bring out 3 buybacks at that point. I think you say that's great. We got 3 buybacks. Let's refresh and take it again. They still had Aegis, and I still think they had a good couple of minutes on Aegis. They could have got Lel was on about an 8th life, and they could have just healed up, gone shrine maybe, and tried again. But I think they just stayed a little bit too long there.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just looking at these items right now. Sven, he's getting close to his BKB. In fact, I think he might have enough. Yeah, he does have enough gold for it, and he just picks it up. And this could be a big game changer, because the thing is, Sven's been like kited around. He's getting frostbitten. The clockwork's annoying him. The silence from Drow's always been haunting this poor man. Now none of it matters. He's got a BKB and ready to go.
Yeah, in the fight they lost before the buybacks, you could really just see Sven was crying out for a BKB. He was getting bullied all over the park. But with this BKB, other than Drow and that was a close skew there. Other than Drow and the TA, they really can't touch him if he's Magic Immune.
Well, I think I was asking you before, before the fight broke out, Drow Ranger went and got a Sergeant Yasha. Is this unusual, or am I just crazy?
It's SMY got buffed, so I think they decreased the cost of Yasha and increased the cost of Manta style. So trying to incentivize you to buy it, and the proc chance and possibly the maim have been buffed on the Sanj and Yasha. So it's also, if you think about it, if you could keep hitting Sven and slow him with SMY through his BKB, you're going to be able to kite him even more than you're already able to kite him with your Hurricane Pike and your Frost Arrows. So I kind of like it, and it's also good for the tankiness of the Drow.
Indeed. Looks like there might be another push attempt here. Not sure if they're going to go for it. It looks like Lil's actually gone mid lane. He wants to kind of split push a bit, and they're actually going in. The X is on the Magnus. If they can take him out, the RP's gone. He's still not dead. The hook actually gets Marky in the back lines. It actually gets 2 in the cogs, but he's BKB'd up. He's hitting somebody. It's actually Sona he's hitting, but he copped too much damage from the Blade Mail. And it looks like he's just going to lose his life here. And I have a feeling, as unfortunate as this sounds, it looks like this might be GG.
Yeah, no, that was really, really difficult. The Magnus went for a skewer on the Drow, wasn't able to pull her back, and then ended up getting caught out himself. And Sven jumps on the clockwork, but Kunkka hits him with a Solar Crest, and the amount of armor and evasion that gives, it's so hard for Sven to deal any damage. And yeah, he just gets mopped up.
Well, Mega Creep's incoming, I think. Witch Doctor, he gets rooted in place. Ember Spirit, he's been silenced, he's going down. And now Arky, it's a full team wipe. And I can't imagine they're not going to call GG here. John, he might go for a bit of a cheeky kill before so. Actually, the buybacks are coming out. They're not giving up. The silence on John, though, and they just... Oh, my goodness. It's hard to watch, isn't it?
So much physical damage from those two heroes with the Deso and the Drow. This TA... hits for, when Refraction's up, it was 420 something. That's a lot of damage.
Oh, wait a minute. The RP into the fountain, but unfortunately, it gets 2 kills, but I feel like it only delays the game.
Yeah, it's only on the 2 supports. Maybe if they killed the TA or the Drow. was a lovely RP though.
Oh,
God
they're
strength.
going in the God Strength and the stun as well. Drow ends up dropping now. Sona's dropping and TA is the only one left. And they're going to make a push for it, I think. This is the classic comeback from Asian War Builders. Leo, he's trying to make a run for it, but he's going down as well. They're up against Mega Creeps, but could this be the first Echo League Mega Creep comeback?
I mean, you gotta give them fair play for not calling it. They're gonna play it out, and a really nice synergy and combo of spells. But they suddenly got empowered Sven and empowered Ember Spirit. They can hold out against Megas for a fair bit.
Well, this is interesting. Here I am calling GGs, and I mean, John's sitting there going, no, we planned for this with this draft. We knew this was going to happen. We're going for the epic highlight reel kind of game. They're going to keep pushing. Marky, he's no, they're going to stop pushing now. They're going for the safer play. TA still down for 40 seconds though, no buyback. Is this a mistake?
It's impossible to know, and Mega Creeps are going to be coming into the base now. You're not going to want to leave Aki and John to defend your base against Mega Creeps. They're just going to die. But the other sad thing for Asian Wall Builders is Roche is about to respawn, and I imagine if they're going to go for it, they're going to take Roche before the next push, and that's going to make their lives that much harder.
Well, to make matters absolutely worse, there's also a double damage at bot and on the bot rune spot, so that just makes it a bit harsher because it's only gonna make if the die pick it up, it's only gonna make it that much faster to take Roshan as well. I'm a bit shocked though. I thought they would just keep going because when you're up against Megas, I don't know how. Like, what's the game plan here for the Asian War Builders?
The way I believe you've got to do Rush has got a little bit longer. The way I believe you do it is you got to push. Obviously, got to win the fight first, and once they're dead, well, then you've got to push, force buybacks, then usually defend again. But then you have someone defending base like a Sven or an Ember with a Battle Fury and bots. So you push up to the enemy's base, push out your lanes, and have someone TP up, and then somehow you gotta destroy the base before your own base is destroyed. And you gotta be wary of them TPing into your base and running you. It's very difficult.
Indeed it is, but this could be the first time we see it. Leo, he's using that X thing we talked about before, in fact. Machiavelli cops a lot of damage. Can't really kill anyone quite yet.
Ooh.
Hook.
John goes down to the Drow Ranger.
Oh.
He's got a butterfly now.
I didn't even notice John went down to the Drow. My goodness. I mean, that's very bad news for the side of the Radiant, but they're going to keep going. We talked about this. 1 RP could make the difference, I believe, in the side of the Asian War Builders. Leo, he's being cheeky with that X again.
Look at this X.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And actually, Machiavelli, he's looking for something here. He gets a doubled RP, but then there's a silence, so they can't follow up. No, they can. Marky's there with the stun. Now the Emperor, they get 2 down. Leo, he's in trouble here. He's got the BKB, though, and Witch Doctor loses his life. No, Marky loses his life. Witch Doctor's still alive. There's a skewer out of there. Full recovery, in fact. Marky, he buys back, stuns up the Drow, realizes though no God's strength. I don't think he can really do anything here. Now they're going to kill him, and I think this is GG now. Unless Keem can defend this. Machiavelli's going down as well. No, the Shadow Blade's there. Can he? Ember, no, they call it. They realize there's no chance, but they will kill TA off one more time. Maybe. No, in fact they won't. No, they'll kill the Drow Ranger. Maybe. No.
Oh.
My goodness. What a game. What a very, very
what a game.
Entertaining. It's one of those things you're going to learn about the C division is they're extremely entertaining with their playstyles.
I love it. That was although you could say that the Dire were on top for most of it. It was suddenly, I mean, they played it right through to the end and took some really good fights and still seemed in it for a long period of the game.
Indeed they did. Well, it's currently 2:20 AM in the morning, and I've got to wake up in about 6 hours to cast an NA game. So, GasBeaR, have you got any socials or any shout-outs you want to make?
No, I just I'd like to thank you for having me. It's been a very enjoyable experience. It's been the first game I've done from A in client and B for the Echo League, and really, really enjoyed it.
You haven't got a Twitch stream or anything like that set up, have you?
I do. My Twitch is GasBeaR, and I've got a YouTube channel that's probably more active at the moment. I've only got one thing up there, but as I stream and cast games, I'm gonna be uploading my videos onto my GasBeaR YouTube channel, so I'd check that out if you're interested.
As in, just GasBeaR, or is it GasBeaR bracket K?
It's got the K on there. So that's a little homage to my friends and my team, which we're called the Special K, and so we all have that. It's a bit silly, but we love it. But yeah, I unfortunately can't stream, so I have to do YouTube videos.
Oh, well, that's fair enough. That reminds me of my beginnings, but regardless, guys, go check out his YouTube channel. Go get his stream. Go get his Twitch anyway. Don't worry about what he says. Just go follow his stream. Follow my stream if you enjoyed. Always a pleasure, guys. It's been Michael Payne. It's been GasBeaR. We'll see you guys next time.